All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order for June 2nd, 2020. It is 7:04 p.m. I'll start with a roll call. Andy Yale.
Right here.
Brendan Adelman.
Present.
Nate Stacy's not here. Thelma Lavoie's not here. And Rick Sullivan is present. So we have a quorum. We can move forward. Go ahead and review the minutes. Let me know when you guys are done. Everybody good? All right, so I make a motion to accept the minutes as they are.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, minutes accepted from the, what meeting was that? That was from February this year. March, I'm sorry, March. Okay, so we have the site plan review for the Colin Allard application. Let's see. All right, so we did the site walk.
Right.
Anybody have any questions? There wasn't really much that we went over at the site walk. It was pretty straightforward. Who was there? Andy, you were there, right?
Yeah, so was Brendan.
No, Brendan
No?
wasn't there.
No, not there.
Any questions, Brendan? No?
No. So, there's some, as far as we've gotten, I don't see any, the issue of the setbacks doesn't really seem to be an issue for me.
Right.
However, there is something we need to discuss that I just looked, just chanced on in the land use ordinance. On page 24, under section 2, item D.
Item D.
D.
Okay, page 24, section 2.
Item D.
Item D.
Multifamily, residential, commercial, industrial, and institutional development, right?
Mm-hmm.
Loading facilities must be located entirely on the same lot as the building or use to be served.
Okay, and how does this?
Well, if she's gonna have a warehouse over here with material for the store,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what the purpose of this is. I'm only bringing it up because I found it.
Right.
It doesn't really make any kind of sense to me,
Right.
but there it is. So I think we have to at least figure it out and address it and see if it applies.
Item D. You have another book over there.
You can borrow mine, or you have it back after.
Is this like the teacher's copy?
Yeah.
But the structure's not being extended, right? And it's not being enlarged.
No,
So,
but it's a separate building. She's gonna use the separate building for Redemption Center,
right,
but also for warehousing.
right, but she's not going to extend it
Mm.
or enlarge it.
So, yeah, that's the paragraph.
And
up at
that's like
at the top.
you know what I mean? That's the preamble to that, right?
Extended no structure, constructor. Okay, so that takes care of that.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
Let
Yeah.
me read it. No, not extend no structure, constructor.
You're not planning to extend it.
She's not
right?
extending, she's not constructing, she's not enlarging, she's all right.
Yeah, I think if
I
she
think
does,
so.
that does trigger that though, and that would be an issue.
Right.
In this case, it's not. I think. That makes sense.
Why would that even be an issue that loading facilities are one place for another building?
Because people voted on this, and that's the way it is.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay.
All right, so, in my notes, I don't have any other questions here. I'm not sure if you guys do. Any other concerns you want to discuss? I had time to digest this thing over the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions now. I mean, so I'm ready to make a motion.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the application.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, the application's accepted.
And don't send us any nasty letters either.
What's that? I didn't send a nasty
Oh,
letter.
yeah, man, it's like spoiling for a
Wasn't
fight.
nasty.
It was spoiling for a fight.
Mm.
What?
But that's all right, we didn't have a fight, so you're all cool.
Okay, so, all right, so we'll have to send you out a
Letter
yeah,
of your decision, which is approval.
okay, right.
Do
No
this.
conditions, no
Right.
conditions apply. I imagine you'll see that shortly.
Awesome.
Apologize, we couldn't get it done before this
Okay,
delay.
this has
Not
been out of everybody's hands.
Right,
I
right.
think nobody expected it to be quite as long
No,
as
no,
it
if I had
has
any inclination, we'd have tried to bend over backwards to get it done beforehand, so.
been. Yeah, no, and I appreciate everything that you did, so,
Right.
thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so we do have some other business to deal with, huh?
Yeah.
So the recreational marijuana draft warrant article.
You guys tabled that from the last meeting.
Right.
Kind of in a pickle, because we can't have a special town meeting or anything, so.
Right.
You know,
So
we could
do
just
we
keep tabling it.
Table perpetually here, is that what?
Table until, I don't know.
Until, I don't know, till we get directives from above on, the ability to gather
Yeah,
more
right.
than.
I mean, we've done our part to this point, right? I mean, we've,
Yeah, I think what she's speaking to is we can't have a public hearing right
Yeah,
now
we
to
don't have a public
actually
hearing.
follow through with the process. So we're sort of at a, we've got a stumbling block in front of us that we don't really know what to do with, so. I guess we'll continue to table it. We're gonna have another meeting in a couple weeks. Maybe some things will change and we can discuss it then.
So table it until further notice? or-
Sure, right.
What was that one for?
Recreational marijuana draft warrant article for the,
The old
sales.
Walker's building?
No.
Not directly, not specifically, but more for the general overall ordinances of
Oh.
recreational marijuana sales.
the medical marijuana didn't pass,
so what do
but
they
now
have to
it's a
have a
separate
vote
thing
on
now,
or
it's a
something?
separate.
You have to have an ordinance drafted, then put it to the town.
The
That
town.
seems to be big in every town. I can't believe how much is in there in Freiburg.
Mm,
I
yeah.
go to my daughter's house and I pass like 4 or 5 different buildings.
I get high just driving through East
Yeah.
Costensville without even slowing down.
Right,
Not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying.
All right, so that's tabled indefinitely, or, perhaps at the next meeting we can address it when we figure out more. Or maybe I should make a motion to table it. I can't just, so I'll make a motion to table the draft warrant article for recreational marijuana until further.
Rick, can
Sure.
I know that we talked about the monetary licensing of some of these things, especially medical marijuana,
Right.
and we should be thinking about what and how, and we don't know what each town is doing, so we have nothing to go by of what they're licensing for.
So
Right.
I don't know if you're familiar with what he's talking about, is the CEO wanted to do like a fee schedule for caregivers.
Right. So I remember that discussion from a couple years back, and I guess it hasn't went anywhere. So
Right.
I don't even know how to
But it's-
proceed with that.
You guys don't have to do anything for fee schedules,
Okay.
but if it came down to like performance standards, like creating an ordinance for
Right.
performance standards,
Right.
then that would be you guys.
So the fee schedules, how are they created and implemented? Just by
Basically,
decree from the CEO,
Select
or?
board and the CEO.
Okay. Right.
Well, no, town meeting, they have to be voted on at town meeting, but the select board and CEO can.
We'll craft it.
Craft.
Okay. So the planning board is removed from
Right.
that entirely.
But you're asking about furthering that, like performance standards wise, or
Yeah,
ordinances?
performances,
For caregivers
Okay.
and, because caregivers can kind of do like co-op cultivating.
Right.
And we've had a lot of inquiries about a lot of people coming out, I don't know. so-
Right. So, from what I understand, MMA is recommending their workshops and other things, right? Is that what
Right.
you- So
Yeah,
how
so
do we
we're
even
like-
address this? If we can only entertain applications right now, we,
Right.
We can put it on the table. I
right,
guess, we can create this discussion, it'll be on the next agenda, and if
Okay.
we can't move forward, we'll just keep tabling it,
Okay, all right.
I don't know. 'Cause
I-
yeah, you'll have to have some workshops and figure out, do you
Yeah.
wanna draft performance standards for caregivers and,
I thought we decided we were just gonna put it in the form of whether the town will accept recreational marijuana.
I think this is different. This is the performance standards for medical marijuana caregivers and the like.
Oh,
So each
it's a
town has
separate
the
issue.
authority if they wish so
Oh.
to implement
Oh.
some of these, and this is what they're discussing now.
Oh.
So I think what we'd have to do is put it on the agenda and we can discuss it.
Is the select board asking us to do that? I think, because it has to come from somewhere, that we have to decide we wanna do it, or
you guys
you
can
can request that we
decide
do it.
Yeah,
if
we
you
have-
wanna do it, or the select board can ask if you can do it,
Right.
or somebody, a person, a community member could petition it.
So maybe we can discuss it with the full board at the next meeting and take a vote as a board and decide if we want to do it. We should have a full board at the next meeting because it's a standard meeting. This was workshop day.
Well, it's not a workshop, it's just, her meeting kept getting canceled and pushed forward.
Right, but I would expect everybody knows the third Tuesday, so I hope we'll have a full board here
Yeah.
next week. We could discuss it then and put it to a vote. I don't know what else to do. I mean, we should get a few other people to.
Yeah,
weigh in.
that's why I just wanna be clear on what's initiating, who's initiating.
The
Like,
select
policies,
It's just a question,
Yeah.
but it's.
but if they're officially asking us to initiate that, then we can decide,
Well, I
okay,
guess-
we'll initiate it, otherwise we haven't talked about
Harvey's
doing it.
just here for Harvey, I guess, right? But,
Mhm.
so the select board hasn't asked you guys to do it,
Okay.
it has come up recently, so
Okay.
it's just people are talking about it.
Right. So it's something we can expect to be asked in the future then.
Maybe.
So maybe we'll discuss it as a full board and kind of preempt the request. And if the board wants to move forward as a full board, we will. So I don't know, do you wanna put it as just a discussion?
Yeah,
For
we'll do,
the next meeting.
agenda topic for next month, I'll put it on the agenda and
Right.
we'll go from there.
For next month or for the
I
next
mean,
meeting?
I'm sorry,
Next
next
meeting,
meeting,
yeah.
yeah.
You might not be here next month.
Next meeting,
June 16th.
we have.
Okay, so, under other business, training packets for freedom of information.
So,
In the back section.
those are just the sign-off sheets, if you guys read it and you wanna sign that, Andy, you kind of filled out a piece of paper, but that's the sign-off sheet I was
Okay.
talking about.
I
And
think
Brendan and Rick, I think,
Yeah, I
already did,
thought, I
so
thought
you
I
guys
did
know.
mine like months ago.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
Okay. So the last thing says Watson Woods discussion.
Yeah, I asked for that.
Okay, all
Just-
right.
Just, you guys all got the emails.
Yeah, I've seen,
And, you know, I mean, for what they're worth, right? But we gotta
right.
find out what's,
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what they're talking about, so.
Well, I would say there's an appeals board hearing
Right.
next week. I'm gonna attend. I'll be there. If anybody else from the board wants to be there, show up. Do you know what time that is?
6.
6. All right, so, short of that, there are some concerns. I don't know, people have been discussing some things, but I think they're gonna bring it all out then. So I don't know what we can say here, but, I'll be at the appeals board meeting.
yeah, I'll try to go. I mean, I'm just concerned that, the source has not been particularly reliable.
Right,
And we tend to discount everything that comes from that source.
right.
Because of, and also I can't remember clearly what conditions we put.
I have them, I brought them
Okay.
with me, because we did go over them, that was a question, where are they?
I guess the thing is, where I've sat with it is that, as far as we're concerned, as far as this, what we do is,
Bring them.
like, we approved it.
Right,
So-
I'm not saying we shouldn't approve.
No, I'm
it.
just saying, so like, if there's
Okay.
if the conditions aren't being met or whatever, that's an enforcement issue.
Got it.
That's the code enforcement officer. I mean, at that point, we don't, and if there's a problem, if someone wants to challenge it, that's the appeals board. I mean,
Well, that's why I think
I
it's
feel
good,
like-
that's why I'm gonna show up at the appeals board hearing for any clarification or anything, I think that we should have some representation from the planning board there, I'll be there, if you can make it, that'd be
Yeah.
great, but I think that's the only thing we can do at this point, is show up at the appeals board hearing, see what the discussion is, and be there to clarify any questions the appeals board does have.
Yeah, I mean, my real concern is, you know, and maybe I'm just getting pulled into the hype, you know, is that if we go through all this and then our decisions are not
Yeah.
enforced,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it makes the sport worthless.
No, that's
But that's the
something-
case with every decision we make, you know, I mean, that's the downside to this, is we're not, you know, we don't, you know, how many, there's people paying attention to that, but how many decisions that has this board passed previously that haven't been enforced? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Exactly, but if there's no one screaming, then you don't know, right?
Right, so I guess my feeling is, you know, I wanna see enforcement of whatever.
Sure.
We, you
The
know,
conditions that we drew up need to be enforced, I agree.
yeah.
Are they? I don't know, but we'll go to the
Yeah.
appeals board hearing to see.
And
if
I'm not
that's true.
assuming that they're not being, I'm just, you know, I'd like to know, that's all.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's why we'll show up at the appeals board hearing, see what's brought out, and be there to clarify any questions that they have.
All right.
All right, so, that was it. I thought I had I have them, I can get the, conditions to you.
Yeah.
You can refresh yourself. All right, it looks like that's it. Okay, so I make a motion to, adjourn.
Seconded.
All those in favor? All right, meeting adjourned. No, I'm sorry, not on the votes, no.